Okay, and we are live. Welcome everybody. Before I went live, I didn't make sure that I was open to the public. So if anyone hops on, give me a thumbs up that you are seeing this live broadcast. Oh, darn, I wonder if there's... Okay, good, somebody popped on. Fabulous. Woo! I'm so excited to have this opportunity to be here with all of you. I better keep these handy because I can't see anything. All right, so welcome to the Come Cook With Me show. My name is Laura Hall, and today we are going to be making one of my all-time favorite, I almost say this every time, but it is one of my favorite meals to make for my family. I don't make it but maybe once a year. It's our holiday tradition. It's something that we start off the new year with. We call it our good fortune meal for the year. And we always have it on the 1st of January. But since my son is still here for the holidays with his friends and his girlfriend, I decided that it was perfect to make today because, well, we'll pretend like we had Christmas because he came the day after Christmas, and now we'll pretend like we're having New Year's together. And he gets to have the good fortune meal. So there's a lot of history behind this meal. I'm not going to go into the details, although I think I'm going to post an article I found. But there's something about having really a great tradition, and certainly anybody who's watching, if you want to share your first holiday, your first year, the January 1st meal that you do as a tradition, please by all means share that, because I think that's really wonderful. So with that said, as we're getting started and I see people are hopping on, I do want to say one of the things that we do here in our community is we always say hello, we introduce our name and actually where we're from, because it's really so much fun to see where everyone's coming from. I think last week we had so many European definitely a lot of European, a lot of UK were visiting. We had somebody from South America, South Africa last week. I mean, I just love how this show is expanding. And you know what? The reason is because you're all sharing it. And we're just getting into so many global areas. So when you say hello, who you are, where you're from, you get a chance to win our DanO spices. And you know what? I don't actually have them over there in the corner. So I'll have to grab them in a little bit. But I'll show them to you here because we actually use them. So only for saying hello and who you are, where you're from, you get a chance to win these spices. So we'll talk about them as I start to use them. But if you're new to the show, that's one of the things that we love to do. And at the end of the week, which is today, I'll put you in a random generator and you get a chance to see if you win the spices. But we also do so many other things as well. So I'll go into that in a minute. But one of the things that I love about this particular show is that we do Instant Pot and we do some kind of form of traditional cooking, whether it be the slow cooker. So I'm about to turn 54, and one of the things that I grew up with learning how to cook and having just really great home cooked meals for my family was I used the slow cooker, the crock pot, and this one is an all-clad, so it's a slow cooker. But I just grew up using that and creating these great meals, and it just, you could throw it in the morning before you left for work, and you'd come home and everybody would have a fabulous meal. Well, I stumbled upon having a fast pressure cooker, and it's total rage right now. I know so many of you that I received a message from saying that you got your Christmas present. I know my friends and family all received Instant Pots because I am just so in love with this new gadget, this kitchen gadget, and it's just, if you don't have one yet, I recommend strongly that you get one. I actually have two. I'm hoping to get a third one for my birthday because I want to have it just dedicated for my desserts, because I was never really a great big dessert maker, but because of the Instant Pot, I'm falling in love with it. So it's just crazy. So welcome to the show. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about what I have going on in the back Instant Pot first. So I'll go ahead and get that started. These are my black-eyed peas. So we do a pork stew. Now, some of you who don't do pork, obviously you can mix chicken or beef into your stew, much like what we made last week with the beef stew. but you're going to have a little bit of different ingredients, just a little bit, and I'll go through those. So I've been having my slow cooker. In fact, it's very, very hot, but I can't even lift it up. But I'll show you at the end of the show what it's going to be looking like, because I do want to show you. But it is just cooking so beautifully. It's on its 4th hour, and it smells heavenly. So we do a pork stew. We do a black-eyed peas. We do stewed tomatoes. And you could do collard greens. I am not doing collard greens. My family, I've made collard greens many, many years, and every time I make them, they're not a fan. Although I said that if I had a 3rd Instant Pot, I would be using making the collard greens, because I think the Instant Pot might change the flavor quite a bit from my traditional way of me cooking them. So, but I do have traditional black-eyed peas on the stove, so I'm going to quickly go over and stir them, and I will show you the stewed tomatoes that are over there as well. So let me show you the Instant Pot here, because we want to get these started. And I'm sorry that my back is going to be kind of to you, so hang on just a second. Let me stir these black-eyed peas over here. And the stewed tomatoes get a nice stir, and I cannot wait to show you how beautiful they are. And if I had more Instant Pots, like my friend Keith, I would probably be having everything in that. But I don't have that many Instant Pots. So, all right, so over here what we have is we're just going to combine all the ingredients. So I'll go ahead and share with you what we're going to do. Now, there's many ways to do black-eyed peas. If you're doing them on the stove, you can do I have all the instructions on for the stove, the traditional cooking method. But you really want to pre-soak them if you're doing traditional style. Oh, there's a good question being asked. New Year's meals, ham, black-eyed peas, collard greens, and cornbread. I love the cornbread idea. Love that. That's a great ad. So, but you don't have to, with the Instant Pot, you don't have to pre-soak. It's amazing, yes. We just need to make sure that you have enough liquid. So I've got 2 cups of black-eyed peas here, and I've sorted through to make sure that there aren't any bad guys in there. So you're just going to dump them right into your Instant Pot. And the other thing you're going to use is it's about 6, you want about 6, maybe 6.5 cups of liquid. You can use water. I prefer to use bone broth. Many of you know me who watched me cooking before. You know that I actually am really a traditionalist in using bone broth because it's so good for your gut. And we could go on and on about that. And if you ever come a part of my team, you'll learn a lot more about why I use bone broth. But I've got a chicken-based bone broth, imagine, and then I've got 2 beef, 8 ounces of bone broth here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the liquid in. Now, I looked up, when we cook beans from a dry environment, you can actually cook them in a 30-minute window. But because I like the black-eyed peas to be a little bit really round and soft, I'm going to say that we're going to cook these for 40 minutes. I'm going to set my Instant Pot on manual for 40 minutes. You can, if you're in a quick need of going faster, you can obviously try 30, and if you need to turn it back on, feel free to do that. I just prefer not to do it that way. I just know that 40 minutes is going to be beautiful. Okay, so we've got the liquid in. Got my recycle bag back there. Okay, and the other thing we've got here, we've got half a diced onion, and then I've got a ham hock, and then I've got some leftover ham pieces from our holiday ham. So I'm going to dump that in. And that's gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. Yum, yum, yum. And you want the ham hock to be completely covered in liquid. So if you don't have enough liquid, you just go ahead, and I'm just going to add just an extra bit of water because I want the ham hock completely covered. There you go. Just a smidgen. All right, so I'm going to take a couple of my garlic cloves. And again, many of you who know me, I do a slow roast of the garlic cloves because it just brings out such an intense, roasted, very mellow garlic flavor. So we use those as well. Just let them. So I'm going to put a couple cloves in. All right. And I'm going to put in a bay leaf. And the spices that I'm going to use, I've listed all of the spices. I'm going to use some cumin. I'm going to use our DanOs. And I know many of you are dying because you know I'm not measuring. I don't measure. I just know what it should look like. That's the kind of, but I did put in an estimated amount that you want to use when you're actually making it in the instructions above. And I'm using the 7 C's spices. I'll show all of these because they're all going to go into this pot as well. I layer, and I have some hot Hungarian paprika that's going to go in. Delish. Okay, beautiful. And then the last thing that's going to go in, I'm going to use the spicy side of the DanOs. Perfect. It's about a teaspoon. I use about 2 teaspoons probably in each one of those. I'm going to give it a quick stir just to get those mixed around. And then it's that easy. All I'm going to do is turn my pressure cooker on. Make sure that the steam is off. And we're going to have it on high for 40 and hit start. That's simple. So that one's getting started. Awesome. So now your black-eyed peas are getting started. And what's going to be awesome is that the stew is only going to be needing to do 30 minutes. So beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and start with the stew. I use a pork loin. Now, you don't have to use a pork loin. You can cut pork shoulder up and have bits and pieces. I like the pork loin because once it's done, it shreds so beautifully. And it just shreds. Awesome. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to go ahead and put my liquid in. We're doing one chicken bone broth, free range, and another beef, 2 more beef bone broths. So we're going to start with our liquid. You're going to love this recipe. It tastes phenomenal. All right, so we'll get that going in. And yes, I won't forget to come back to who won the spices and who won the shake. And the bars. Fabulous. So, I don't know about you, but we always make resolutions. Some people don't like to do that, but I love making resolutions. So, I'd love to hear if that's a tradition that you all do. I think resolutions are just so much fun because you really can take a look at your whole year and see, you know, did you accomplish the things that you wanted to accomplish? I have a 16-week challenge that I have posted about earlier, and we're going to be all focusing on that. So people who've been on my team for a while, they're ready to kick it into gear and take it up a notch. And some people who are just getting started are going to be doing the 16-week challenge, so it's going to be a ton of fun. All right, so I've got my 2 pork loins. This comes in, they're already divided, so they're in here. I'm just going to place them into your Instant Pot. Let me get my hands washed off. Perfect. Okay, so this is so great. I'm going to add the rest of the garlic cloves into my Instant Pot. Oh, they smell heavenly. Now this time, because I just love having some garlic and we're going to be doing some tailgating, I wanted to make sure that I had some extra cloves and some something for the bread. Okay, pop that baby in. All right, so for the stew, one of the things I've got here, I've got a can of Cannelloni beans and so great northern beans, and a can of black beans. So I went ahead and drained them and rinsed them. So I'm going to pop those in. Beautiful. So the other thing I was going to talk about is when you're using your cannelloni beans, what I like to do, and you'll see when you on Wednesday, I always do the what you need to come shop with me and what you have in your cart. But if you miss that, one of the things I like to use is I like to use organic, no salt additionally ordered, and I also like to do PBA free. And so what that is, hey Carrie, how are you? I just saw it. Hi Barb, good to see you. So I use the PBA free lining. That's really an important feature. I want to talk about that. So PBA, that's bisphenol A. It's an endocrine disruptor. So it's a plastic lining that for years and years and years, companies have been putting, you know, canned vegetables, you know, fruits, they put a lining of this bisphenol A, but we found that, you know, it's a toxin to our body and it's an endocrine disruptor. So, you know, we have so many people, you know, in this world that are affected without having the ability to have, well, a whole bunch of normalcy in their life as far as getting pregnant and just a host of things, just a whole host of things. So you want to try to find organic whenever possible, and you want to try to make sure that things don't have additional chemicals, because, you know, as it is, you know, I talk about cleansing all of the time, and it's a cellular cleanse, but you don't need to be adding more things in that you need to be cleansing out. The other thing I didn't show, the last time I used some beans, and I thought this would be a great idea to show you. When you rinse your beans, I'm going to show you right here from the sink. When you rinse your beans, one of the things that comes off, you'll see this foam up. I'll show it to you in just a second. So you get all these additional gases, and I'm going to show it to you just like that. Hang on, I didn't plan that correctly. But take a look at that foamy, can you see that? Yeah, so you want to rinse your beans completely, because that takes off the additional, you know, the water, the gas. You know, if they're clean and they're rinsed, you won't have as much gas. So I think that when we made chili, we talked about that very specifically, but I know I hadn't brought that up in a while, so I wanted to go ahead and do that. All right, so the next thing that's going to go in is some diced tomatoes. I love tomatoes in our pork stew, so we put that whole can in. All right, one of my favorite parts of this stew is using okra. So I went ahead, because I didn't see really, really good fresh okra today, or Wednesday when I went shopping. So I went ahead and purchased the frozen. So we're going to put a full bag of the frozen in. And then I have a half a bag of butter beans and a half a bag of butter peas that I'm going to put in. The other half went in over on the slow cooker side. Oh God, I love those. They're so good. All right, the next item that's going to go in, I have a zucchini and yellow and green squash. So we're going to just go ahead and put those in. Perfect. And I'm going to use a cup and a half of red burgundy wine. This one was on sale, so that's just what I picked up. Beautiful. And we're going to use a host of carrots. I went ahead and diced those organic carrots up. Beautiful. And we like our stew a little spicy, so I actually have 2 jalapenos. I'm going to just put in about half of this and then save it for serving. And then we've got 4 stalks of celery that we're putting in. And then we've got the last items. We've got some mixed color peppers. And then we have a diced onion. So simple. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to add the spices now. We use the same kind of seasoning because we overlay these seasonings quite a bit. I use the same seasonings when I put in the, oh, you know what? Yeah, I forgot one other ingredient, the balsamic vinaigrette. We need to put some balsamic vinaigrette. The thing I like about this one, it's aged, but it's also non-GMO. We don't want to have, just like we don't want to put additional chemicals in, we don't want to put anything else that's genetically modified. You don't want to put that in your body as well. But what I also love about this particular brand, and this is I don't know, I'm going to let you read it. I just love this one because it doesn't have added caramel. So no artificial coloring. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Beautiful. Okay, now it's time for the seasoning. So we're going to start off with some ground cumin. I'm very generous with my cumin because it's one of our favorite. And then we have black pepper. And we've got some hot Hungarian paprika. Again, if you look for the non-GMO symbol, you can't go wrong. Organic, non-GMO. And your spices, that's really important. I know years ago when I was cooking for the family, I really didn't concern myself about those, but since being a health coach, I've realized it's really, really an important thing. Organic, very important, non-GMO. And some bay leaves, you want to put some bay leaves in there. And then I have some herbs of the Providence. If you don't have those in your store, because some people have said, I can't find that particular one, all you have to do is get organic rosemary, marjoram, thyme, savory, and sage. So, but that's the brand that I get. All right, and then one of my favorite seasonings, very spicy but has a little lemon and orange flavoring to it, is the Japanese 7C spice. I love this one. Beautiful. And then finally, we have our DanO seasonings. Now, DanO seasonings, if you haven't tried these spices, they are just phenomenal. Dan is a member on my team, on my healthy lifestyle team, but he created these incredible spices. This is just his company, and I love it. It's a Kentucky Proud, so he's created a savory and a like a spice, more of a spicy, but they're awesome. They're low sodium, they're no sugar added to them, they're gluten-free, no MSG, and they're no GMOs. So I love them. That's one of the reasons why. I mean, if you don't have them yet, just say hello, who you are, where you're from, and join us every Friday so you get a chance to win. Or most of the time, people post DanO's website right on the comments. So look for that because that'll come up. So I'm going to use a little bit of both. Perfect. Okay. That's so simple this is. Now I'm looking to see if my liquid it's just perfect. It's right at where it really can't be any higher. Making sure, yeah, I'm at my max. So watch your Instapot so you don't go over your max. But I'm perfect with the liquid, perfect with the, and you know, those will go down. So that's it. We're gonna go ahead and put the top on. Oh, well that is crazy. My little top is missing. I don't know if you've all had that before, but I have not, and I bet it's sitting in my closet, but it won't matter because it shouldn't be on, it shouldn't be vented. Just gonna check. I need to get a new knob apparently. Okay, but that's a good thing. I can go on the website and do that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close it. That's locked in. And we're gonna go ahead and do manual. And I want to increase the time, 35. I'm just going to keep it at 35, and it's going to click on and get started. And then that's going to be it. Now I'm going to show you over here. See, it's getting started. All right, over here we have the slow cooker. One of the things that we did last week when we did the stew, set that down, is it took me a long time for that stew to cook down because it was very, very liquidy. And you don't want your stew to be too liquidy. Like a soup. So you want it to be a little more hearty. So I posted post comments about how to not have that happen. And the magic thing that I use is quinoa. So I will also put about a cup of quinoa in this particular stew just because I don't want it to be too soupy. I want it to be really hearty. So the quinoa, which is great, adds some additional protein, but it acts as a thickening agent. Now your okra also acts as a thickening agent, and you can take your top off of your, take the lid off the slow cooker once it's really cooked down, the vegetables are cooked down. You can do that as well. So those are two options that you have. But this has got about 3, maybe 2 more hours. The meat is starting to separate, and that's one of the things that we love. Sometimes in the mid of cooking on this particular model, I can pull the meat out and actually cut it up and shred it a little bit faster. And I might decide to do that, and if I do, I'll take pictures and show you that as well. So what I need to do is kind of go over to the stove, and I'll just share with you the stewed tomatoes that are cooking and the traditional black-eyed peas. But before going there, I want to share with you what we're going to do for serving. So our family, like I said, we don't do the collard greens. So instead, I steam spinach. So I've just got some baby spinach, and I actually have a third container. I just didn't pull it out. Because whenever you steam the spinach, it it cooks down really, really fast, and then you're like, oh, there's not enough. There's never enough spinach. So I cook it down. But one of the tricks that I use is since my stewed tomatoes have been cooking and getting so flavorful, and I'll show you the juice. It's just incredible. But I will scoop the juice out of the tomatoes, out of the stewed tomatoes, into a steam pot, and then that'll be what I steam the spinach with. I mean, it's just so yummy. And so you can see how this meal just folds into one of, everything has the same kind of seasoning and flavoring. And so it's just so beautiful how it all comes together. So that's one of the tricks that I use when I do the steamed spinach. And then the only other thing that I'm not going to show is we do a basmati rice. So you can use your Instant Pot. We've done a recipe with that before. Just using our bone broth, some water, and putting some basmati rice. So that's how we're actually going to serve it all. So you definitely want to hit back and look at the comments so that you can see all of the pictures of how this recipe comes together. Yes, this is an intense recipe. I will share with you, if you're making this traditional style, it's something that you're cooking all day. And in fact, my husband, when he came home from running an errand, he says, it smells like Thanksgiving in here again. But it's so aromatic. You just can't, if you had smell-o-vision right now and you could just smell the incredible aromas that are filling the kitchen, you would just say, oh, I want to have dinner with you all. So I'm going to turn the camera over here to the stove so you can see the stewed tomatoes. Look for the pictures because you won't be able to see a whole bunch more after I do that. And then I'm going to also show you who won the shakes, who won the spices, and who won the bars. I still need to do that. But let me do the turning of the camera so you can see it without losing y'all. Oh, I wish that I could probably, you know what, I could probably just carry you over. Maybe I'll do it that way. Let's see. I hope that I don't lose y'all. If I do, I'll announce the winners later. Okay, so I'm just going to carry the camera over this way. All right, let me turn. I'm so sorry if I'm making any of you all dizzy. All right, so you can see the traditional, there's the traditional black-eyed peas. They're getting really close. These are really, 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 really close. So I might turn those off so that I can have everything come together at once. I'll take the ham hock out. Let's see the ham hock right there. And oh my God, they're getting really close. We like to have them not soupy, so they've probably got about a half an hour longer cooking. And then take a look at these stewed tomatoes. These are phenomenal. So I start off with Roma tomatoes, and you'll see in the recipe what's all in there, but you can see how gorgeous they are. I'll take a whole bunch of pictures so you can see, but they're just cooking in my Dutch oven. If I had another Instant Pot, I guarantee you I'd be trying them in the Instant Pot. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pick you all back over here so you can be in the same spot, and we'll share with you the winners. Okay. So the spices, I'm so excited for this gal. She has been on a couple of times and she's like, oh, I caught you live for the first time in a long time. So I think you're going to be really excited. Sandra Cheney, I'll send you a message. You won the spices. Congratulations. I'm very, very excited for you. Okay, and I don't have the bars or the shakes sitting out because there's just so much going on in this kitchen. But the person who has won the meal replacement bars, the special s'mores bars, is Diane Erickson Olson. So congratulations, Diane. I'm very excited for you. this one back over here. And then the shake. So we have two seasonal shakes that we have remaining. One is the pumpkin spice and the other is the cookies and cream that was re-released. So the person who won that is Melinda Carpenter. Now let me share with you how you win the shake or the bars is you have to share the video. And we had over 41 shares, I think, last week, which was just phenomenal. So I really appreciate that. And what was so funny is that someone shared from another person's share, so I had to really track where did that all come from, but it was just so great. And you know, when you share, I try to put the pictures on your page as well. So it just gets a little bit overwhelming though to get all of them, but I will try to do that. I will strive to get that accomplished as well. But like I said, this week is a huge week for us, especially, you know, as people are doing their New Year's resolutions, they're usually thinking about a health goal and wanting to change some things up as far as working out and hitting the gym. So we have a 16-week challenge going on, and I've been inundated, just so blown away with how many people who are coming on, and lots and lots and lots of husband and wife teams coming together and doing this journey together. So I'm so excited about that as well. So I hope everyone has a very safe New Year's. I don't know what you do. We don't do anything, but stay at home and cook something just delicious. Just because we just don't like to be out with people who are, you know, having maybe a little bit too much anything. So we will be staying at home and watching some festivities as the ball drops. And then we're going to be set because this meal is completely ready to go for January 1st. So share with us your traditions. Don't forget to say hello, who you are, where you're from, and feel free to please share this video on your wall and have a chance to win. And even if I noticed a few of you who are already like either on my team and or you're in my company working side by side with me. Even if you are, feel free to share the video just so that we can touch more lives and impact more people. And with that said, please enjoy your festivities, no matter what you do. Welcoming you into the year 2018. Can you believe it? 2018. It just blows me away how fast this year went. And I just, you know, every year that I get older, I don't know if you're like me, but every year that I get older, it just seems like time flies even faster. It's just crazy. So enjoy your holiday, enjoy your family if you still have family in town. I so am honored and joyful that you have joined the show today. I so appreciate everyone who reaches out to me, and I love the messages. Have a blessed end of 2017, and let's make it a great 2018. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye.